stepped in on that one. I dealt with a partner who we had some financial problems with, and I'm going to leave it at that. Had to make a decision: do we close the doors? Do we walk away from the production company? And I contacted Gary Lee Brooks. He and I put our heads together and said, "This is what we want to do." There's a lot of people that work for us, that believe in us, that trust what we're doing, and it was real easy to lay down and lick the wounds and say, "Okay, you know what? That's it. We're done." But we really, really felt called by God on this to press forward and continue doing what we're doing. And within 6 months, which is where we are today, there's a lot under our belt. We've got a lot of things accomplished. I first got the calling in my heart by God in about 1989. I've always been a long hair rock and roller. I've been in the music industry in Hollywood. I played Gazaris, Jezebels, the Troubadour, you name it, we played it. I ended up bumping into a friend of mine. I was on my way to an audition where he was the manager of a well-known band that has been very successful, and they needed a bass player. I was on my way, and he and I started talking spiritually. I told him, just a week prior I went to a Bible study and I accepted Jesus. And we pulled over on the 101 freeway. He professed to me about how he just accepted the Lord as his Savior, and we turned that car around. We went back home. I ended up going to church. Within a month, I was involved in the worship team with church. So I've always had a calling in my life, knowing what it is, that it's something spiritual. I ended up leading worship for churches, and just to see what the Lord does through music was fascinating. And then to get involved in film and television, I've been on the other side of the camera. Well, actually, that would be this side of the camera. I've been acting. I've been doing stunts, and I've seen the way people have been treated by the production company. And I swore to myself that if I ever got the opportunity, I would not be that person that was treating the people the way they were. I have a heart. I have compassion, and for a director to yell and scream because they're not getting what they want this actor to do, and then in 2 seconds later he says, "Okay, in action," and this actor is supposed to be like nothing ever happened. No, I swore to myself I would never do anything like that. And I really believe that the Lord knew my heart and knows my heart and tested me with this. Several years after the music industry, being with the Christian rock bands and all that, I had another calling in my life, and I was called to be an ordained minister. With that, I continued following and pursuing that career and that goal, and I ended up being a chaplain with San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department for several years. And then Two Gun Productions comes in, and that's where, in my spirit, I believe that's where Two Gun Productions came about.
Within a week of that interview, Luciano took an even greater leap of faith to form Law Dog Productions.
And nothing has changed. We still have the same faith base. We have the biblical messages. It's amazing to see what the Lord can do in a situation like that. I spoke with our management company, and she said, "I back you. I follow you 100%, whatever it is you're going to do." And I said, "Okay, great." Made the decisions. I spoke with her, and I said, "Okay, it's over. It's done. Now I need to restart, the new production company. I've got to do a name search. I've got a lot of work to do." And she told me, she said, "You're going to be down for about 3 to 4 months." Inside, I smiled, because you can't keep a God man down. I'm sorry. And Monday we shut the company down, and Wednesday by 4:30 in the afternoon I was signing documents, and Law Dog Productions was up and running in full swing as a production company. Tales of the Frontier is a family-based production. What we do is we go back to the days of old, Have Gun Will Travel, Cheyenne, Wagon Train. Our goal is to bring the families back in front of their TV to watch as a family. You don't have to worry about the language, the nudity, the violence, anything like that. I remember as a kid, it was movie time, and the whole family gathered and we watched. And what we have done is we've actually instilled that. And the funny part is, as our episodes are airing, my family is drawn together and we sit and we watch it. And the support I get from the family, and knowing that that's what my goal is, and it's happening here in my house, that says it all to me. We start production September the 24th on Ghost. I'm excited. Anytime we roll cameras, it's fun. It really is. I have a saying amongst the crew: when we lose sight and it doesn't become fun anymore, it's time to part ways and go our separate ways. And everybody stands by that. We have fun on set, and that's what it's all about. Right now, with the management company that we're working with, we are being shopped around through major networks as well as distributed overseas. They will be put on DVD, and you know what, with the power of prayer, they may end up showing on some national levels as well. As of right now, what we're doing is we're stockpiling. We're going ahead. We've been funded to go ahead and film 7 more episodes, creating 13 episodes with what we've done with Tahhan, and that will be an entire half season. What that does for us is that allows us to go to a network instead of with a piece of paper and saying, look at this is our ideas. We can go to them with DVDs and say, this is what we have done, this is what we're capable of doing, and if you're interested, we've got 1,000 more scripts. On episode 13, my normal routine, I take my hat, I throw it up, ladies and gentlemen, that is a wrap. One of my actresses, Candace Bullock, Candace came up and said, I'm going to be leaving now, and Candace hugged me. I released her, and she held on to me, so I hugged her again, and I let go, and she still held on to me, and all of a sudden I feel her jumping, and she's sobbing. So I consoled her, and then I felt her release, and I let her go back, and she said, I don't want to leave. She goes, I have entered the 1800s, and I don't want to leave. And I mean, I lost it. I started crying with her. There is such a unity that is created with the cast members on our set. They love us, we love them, and our goal is to bring as many of them back as we can.
Very interesting series. The Ghosts episode is set to begin filming late in September.
Well, Terry, is there going to be another appearance for the mysterious stranger?
well, Giles, the mysterious stranger was a role in the Prodigal episode, one of the first ones, and I had the opportunity to play the role of an angel from God, a mysterious stranger who tells the prodigal son, better get back to work.
Outstanding.
Now, will it recur? Well, you know how it is with a sequel. You want the role to be better, and if it's not better to the original, maybe you'll pass and let someone else carry it on, but that remains to be seen.
Well, I'm sure it's going to be an outstanding episode.
Well, I can assure you that coming up next on Our Community, in August, 90 local students were awarded scholarships from the Desert Valley Charitable Foundation.
It takes the burden off going to college and figure out where I'm going to find the money to pay for school.
90 college students, scholarship recipients, the highest number yet in Desert Valley Charitable Foundation's 17th annual Healthcare Education Scholarship Awards Program.
It is the 3rd year that I get granted for the scholarship, and it has helped me out as a single mom.
Over $100,000 in scholarships this year.
And it's going to help me in my educational endeavor to become an anesthesiologist.
Margaret Peterson welcomed scholarship recipients and their families to the banquet and awards presentation.
I have a colleague that has a very special term for things like this happening. He always says, things like this don't happen automatically.
Dr. Venkama Reddy extended her congratulations and well wishes.
I wish all of you best of luck.
Dr. Prem Reddy has contributed over $10 million to health field-related causes, including hundreds of thousands of dollars to the Desert Valley Charitable Foundation Scholarship Fund. Dr. Reddy inspires scholarship recipients, conveying his story of humble beginnings to become one of the most successful and influential physicians in the United States of America. Equal in importance to financial help, the inspiration and opportunity.
First of all, I started as a volunteer, and I got an insight to what it would be like into the medical field. And Desert Valley Hospital has showed me an insight to it and how it can be all done. That has inspired me in my schooling to keep going forward, to keep pushing to that dream, to never give up even through the hardship, through the competition.
And it has helped me out as a single mom in many ways, not only with schooling, but also like relieving me from the stress of like, how am I gonna get money to buy books? How am I gonna pay for my gas and to go down the hill for rotations, for clinicals? And it's just like a relief that gets me more focused into my schooling, gets me more time to stay with my son at home as well, instead of working so much to try to pay for my study.
The criteria for a student to receive a Prime Cup scholarship: academic excellence in pursuit of a career in a health care or medical related field. To qualify, a student must have excellent grades and be a resident of the high desert.
Many of these outstanding students were exceptional athletes as well.
That's right, Jeff. Hey, but Giles, you were an outstanding athlete. What was your sport?
400-meter hurdles, track and field.
Yes. But were you an exceptional student as well?
Well, now, I was okay.
But you went to college.
Yes.
And sports helped get you there.
Without question.
And obviously the medical training is going to help these students get into a career path they choose. But speaking of sports, high school football.
Sultana High School senior quarterback Andrew Robbins led the Sultans to a one-sided win over Granite Hills. The 6'3", 190-pound signal caller ran for 3 first-quarter touchdowns, including this 30-yarder. Robbins finished with 129 yards on the ground. 5'11", 212-pound senior running back Jania Roberts complemented the Sultan ground game, rushing for 96 yards and 2 touchdowns in the 47-6 triumph. Former Silverado superstar quarterback Jamaron Jenkins directs the Victor Valley College Rams offense this season. Jenkins commandeered the Rams to 23 first-half points in VVC's home opener. Visiting West Los Angeles rallied from the 23-16 halftime deficit to win 29-23. The 6'1", 190-pound Jenkins was 20 for 32 in the air for 239 yards. The Rams defense came up with the big play on many an occasion. Watch number 52 on these successive goal line stops. That's 6'2", 230-pound linebacker Trevor McQueen out of Bonnie Lake, Washington. .6'2", 235-pound freshman linebacker Isaiah Riddle, number 1, leads the gang tackle on this 4th down Wildcats effort. That's a universal collision. Collisions happen. When you need auto body repair, make the smart choice. Universal Collision, Village Drive, Victorville. The Rams' next home game is their conference opener, September 22nd against Chaffee.
Thank you for being with us this week on Our Community.
We hope to see you next week when Our Community returns.
Our Community, showcasing the talent of our high desert communities. Our Community, presented by CYAP, serving to educate, inform, and inspire the citizens of our communities. The Community Youth Athletic Program. Through activities from after-school programs to all-star athletic events, the CYAP provides programs that promote a youth's self-esteem, reduces school dropouts, and produce healthier youngsters. To join the community leaders, law enforcers, educators, and elected officials who are dedicated to making our community, as our one nation under God, a safer, happier, more productive, and more prosperous place to live. Contact CYAP, Community Youth Athletic Programs, www.thecyap.com.
This is our community, baby. Thank you very much.